Our Verify team is working very hard to fact-check many of the statements made tonight. Let's check in now with Joe Dana. He's in the Verify Center with more. Hey, Joe.
Hey, we tackled two more claims made by candidates. First, Pete Butigeg. He made this claim about how President Trump's war on China through tariffs is hurting the average American family.
We've got to recognize that the China challenge really is a serious one. Tariffs are taxes, and Americans are going to pay on average $800 more a year because of these tariffs.
The claim and found a study from a nonpartisan campaign against tariffs called Tariffs Hurt Heartland, finding a family of four would spend $767 more annually because of Trump's tariffs on China. Another research firm, the Peter Institute for International Economics, also supported that claim. So we're going to say this is verified as true because there are multiple sources backing it, but at least one of the sources is opposed to tariffs in general. So this debate is probably not closed shut. Now, a lot of tonight's talk also related to economic burdens on the middle-class families, candidates calling out wage inequality and the perceived injustices of our tax code. Senator Bernie Sanders targeted the Trump taxes, making this claim about benefits going to the wealthiest in America.
Well, President Trump, you're not standing up for working families, and that 83% of your tax benefits go to the top 1%.
This claim has a few caveats. Yes, there is a government study suggesting that nearly 83% of benefits could go to the top 1% by 2027. That's if Congress doesn't extend individual tax cuts. So if everything holds, this claim is partially true, partial because we're talking about what could happen in a decade, not what's happening today. Overall, we found some statements taken out of context tonight, but no major whoppers on the stage. Now, someone out there may disagree. Feel free to text us. Send me a tweet. Let me know what you think. This isn't a perfect system as we continue to verify the discourse during the beginnings of these campaigns. Back to you guys.
All right, Joe, thank you.